I'm Uphill Phil, and today I'm going to be reviewing this beast, the WHYTE E-160RS. So this is a very first for me. I've never ridden an e-bike, an e-mountain bike that is, on a familiar trail that I'm normally used to using my full suspension or my hardtail. It's going to be an experience and a half. This was very kindly lent to me by my very good buddy Yann, a 40-something rider, and I'll link you to his YouTube channel just above here. I recommend you go and have a look at his channel. He's an absolute dude and a very, very good buddy who's actually given me a lot of trust in looking after his baby. So I'm going to review it from the point of view of someone who's never ridden an e-bike off-road in anger before, and I'm going to put it through its paces. I'm going to be looking at its XC capabilities, so sort of using the modes to see which one works well and which one doesn't work well, which I doubt there is one. But I'm also going to be looking at it from the point of view of some tight, twisty, jumpy trails, which I'm normally used to. Now, I'm here in the beautiful Southdowns, of which is my normal, regular riding haunt. And we've got Friston Forest just over here, which is an epic place to ride. I really hope you enjoy this video about the WHYTE E-160RS. Okay, so starting off with a bit of flat. I'm in eco setting at the moment, and I'm putting a very minimal amount of effort in. However, I say minimal amount of effort, I'm still putting effort in, and that's the surprising thing with this. It's you're still actually getting a very good workout. My heart rate is raised. I'm not sure about the actual amounts of percentages of effort that the electric motor assists with, but I'm going to find out and put that on screen for all the different modes. The geometry feels very, very similar, if not identical, to my T130 and my 905 WHYTE bikes, of which I am absolutely in love with. I'm a proper WHYTE fan, always have been, always will be, and this E-160RS is no exception. The cockpit is absolutely perfectly matched to me and my body ergonomics. It's got a great long reach, and testing the large today. Okay, so I've come to the top of a rather nice downhill. It's pretty quick, pretty rocky. There's a few interesting little lumps and bumps in this, so it's a great test for this bike to see what it handles like and how it compares to my 905 and my T130 WHYTE bikes. And then I'm going to be heading over across to the hill across the other side there. Ooh, nearly fell off. And we've got a really nice, windy, long climb. Okay, so let's get going down this awesome downhill. Now, this is the first downhill I've done on this bike, so I'm not going to go too rowdy on it. But in normal style, I'm not going to hang around too much. So first of all, the suspension is bliss. It's super plush. This Fox 38.4 is, oh my goodness, I'm quite surprised. Now this actually, believe it or not, is the first time I've really ridden the Fox suspension system. and it does definitely feel different to the rock shocks that I'm used to. The rear shock is extremely plush as well, and it's providing an extremely smooth and progressive ride. I feel very in control, although this particular trail is chalk and it is lethal sometimes, so I'm not going to go wild with this. I can feel it a little bit slippy under tyre. Oh, bliss, very nice. Now the extra weight of this bike certainly helps keep its stability in check. Very different to an unassisted bike. Hi guys, how you doing? Okay, so this is the beginning of the climb I was just talking about. It's quite a climb. It's rocky, it's rooty, although more rocky than rooty. A little bit slippery today due to the amount of rain that we've had over the last couple of weeks, but it has drained well. I'm in eco mode at the moment and just going through the gears like I'd normally do. It's giving enough assistance to actually make this quite a pleasant climb, where normally it's quite an arduous climb after 3/4 of the way up. So let's just see what it's like when I get to that 3/4 mark. So let's have a look at the next mode. So I'm in eco at the moment. Tour. Oh no, that's a noticeable change. Oh, what? That's a massive noticeable change actually. Now I'm not putting too much effort in. Okay, so let's have a little look. And the next one, which I believe is eMTB. Yep, again, an extra bit of assist there. My legs have gone a little lighter now. Now this is great because it actually allows for a bit of recovery when you most need it on these big climbs. And I know the GoPro doesn't really show the gradient, but it is actually quite a long, drawn out, typical Southdowns climb. So a little tiny bit steeper. Let's have a look at turbo. Oh yeah, there's a good boost there. I'm putting in minimal effort and going like a bat out of hell here. Oh, I can't wait to get those steep climbs in. Okay, so that's that big climb done, and that climb is literally just coming up here. You can just about probably see it, and just across the other side there, down here, was where I actually started from, at the top of the other hill. So it's a nice valley to experience this e-bike. So I'm going to be going down the downhill now, back down to the car, and I'm going to open up all the valves in the actual suspension. The forks themselves, we've got, get it into view, let's get it just about there, there we go. So we've got fully open, super plush, and then we can actually get it all the way around to fully locked out. Now it is not necessarily fully locked out, but it is certainly a huge amount more firmness put in place. I'm going to open it right the way up to go downhill, and then on the actual main rear shock I'm going to open it right the way up so we can get it super plush and get the full travel. So I believe it's 155 at the back, and we've got 160 at the front. I'll confirm that in all the details anyway, but I'm going to put all the information about the bike in the description below. and I'll put a link to the WHYTE website as well, so you can find out all about the bike. Let's go and have a look at the downhill. Right, let's get this downhill underway. So, suspension's fully opened, and again I'm not going to go too leery down here because we have got walkers and it's slippery. So far so good. It's pretty, a couple of walkers, just slow down a little. Thank you. Right, let's get this baby going then. So, very plush, very planted, incredibly planted feeling. It's, because of its weight, it really holds it firmly to the trail. I don't feel out of control at all. Oh, it's quite a pleasurable experience, is this. How fast can we get her going? So the readout's saying 51 kilometres. I believe you can change it into miles an hour. Nice little jump. Whee! Now, interestingly enough, on this very rough surface, it's actually a little harsh. And again, I'm kind of comparing to my rock shots. I'm getting a lot of vibration through the arms, which I'm surprised about. Now that could be largely down to the fact that because it's a Yann's bike, it's actually just had fitted some tyre inserts, so that could actually, add to the firmness of the tyres. Now the tyres are a little bit pumped up. That was quite good. It certainly don't hang around. Let's go and get up this climb. Okay, back to another nice climb. Now this I've done many times. It's one of my favourite climbs. It is a little bit leery when you get down to this little gully area. Now this is the one that came down earlier, the first descent that I did on this bike, and it was a little leery because of this slippiness. It is chalk, it's natural chalk on the Southdowns, and as you can probably see in here, it's slipping all over the place. So it takes a huge degree of balance and what little skill I have to keep the bike going over all these boulders as well. Now I'm in a fairly low gear, sort of mid-range on the cassette, and I am in eMTB mode, which seems to be very comfortable. I'm reluctant to use the turbo mode because it's just it's a little bit brutal, to be honest with you, and I think a little unnecessary, unless you get some sort of mega climb. You would need some pretty decent grip on that climb though, otherwise it'll just be spinning out all the time. So I think a combination of normal brute power from the old legs and good gear choice, eMTB mode seems to be my favourite so far. And once again, it's making mincemeat of this climb. Wow! In true Greg Wallace fashion. Wow! This is great! Well, I think I averaged about between 15 and 20 kilometres an hour up that hill, which is the fastest I've ever done it. Wow, loved it. Okay, so this thing is really making light work of the Southdowns National Park. My first experience of an eMTB off-road in my natural habitat, and in my natural habitat, listen to me, I'm like an animal. It's surprised me, it really has surprised me. It's very, very capable. It's allowing me to basically just recover much quicker I'm still getting one hell of a workout, especially with some of the climbs like you've seen with the one that I was slipping all over the place. That took an extra degree of effort purely from the balance side of things, let alone the actual energy I was wasting. But with the right gear choice, which is very different to normal mountain bike riding, without the assist from the electric motor, it worked out pretty good. Out of 10 so far, we're going to go with 9, purely and simply because I've heard rumours about the problem with removing the battery because of the way it's laid out. Now the battery is laid out in such a way that it is very, very low. Now that's brilliant because it actually improves the handling characteristics of this bike. It's very low, so it comes right the way down to the bottom bracket area, even though there's no bottom bracket. And WHYTE have actually turned the motor slightly upwards, so it's pointing upwards, so they've actually built the frame around the motor itself. That's allowed them to bring the battery down in the frame, which has allowed them to actually lower the centre of gravity, which in turn gives this bike incredible handling skills. It's exceptional so far. One of the great things about eMTBs is it allows you to explore. It allows you to make mistakes, go up a wrong turn, climb a hill that you didn't need to climb in order to find all the best trails. So not only are they an amazing trail weapon, they're an exploratory weapon as well. So from the point of view of going to a new location and actually exploring, 10 out of 10, absolutely amazing. I've just found this bridleway just to see where it's going to actually end up. Never been up it before, and when I say up, it is quite a steep up as well. But I'm sitting here relaxed. I could almost have a cup of coffee at the same time while I'm riding up this hill. Let's go and find a downhill. Hey, how you doing? So my verdict of the WHYTE E-160RS is WHYTE did a vast amount of testing with prototype bikes that had empty motor case and battery case filled with bike chains to replicate the weight of a full e-bike. This was all due to the fact that Bosch had not released their Generation 4 CX motor as yet, whilst WHYTE was testing the bike. So WHYTE wanted a complete bike that was as dynamic and as close to an analogue enduro bike as possible. Once they had got their hands on the CX motor, the Generation 4, their testing had paid off. WHYTE has also done a brilliant job in tuning their rear suspension. It has a lively poppy feel on small bumps and trail ripples, but bucket loads of support to hold you up and push against to allow you to generate speed and air across natural gaps. The bike felt most composed at high speeds and never flinched when landing step downs and jumps. It had my back with everything I threw at it and whatever pace I was riding it at. This bike 100% hits all the ride and handling sweet spots. Getting the battery out for charging was the only negative. So based on that, I'm going to give this bike a 9 out of 10. Go buy one, they're amazing.
If you want more detail about the bike, click on the link above for my static review of the WHYTE E-160RS.